Hello, it's 4:20. Let's get high. All right. So I've been reading from my new book called Zohar Beyond the Black Hole, and in this chapter, the longest chapter of the book, kind of the meat of the book, I'm reading and translating and explaining the first 13 paragraphs of the Zohar, which are set off from the rest of the Zohar, because they are a very intricate description of how creation came into being. So, just set up a fan. Zehu steaming, Zohar sosim, Gani, ad de binyan bigveya la al da. Beisa kaime pshito enon zera kodesh. Zohar ad lo is adios, lo ishpatos pshitu, Yeshivu lo ikre Elohim, Ella, kula baklala, bereshis, labasar, itaken, bishamad Elohim. Afikenon tovlin, mahahu zera bay. Man hahu zera, eno osvim, galifim, Raza the right of the Nafuk Mehi Nakuta. All right, let's break that down. Zestimim Vaganim Adabonim Begaboya all the basic common Pishita Denon Zera Kodesh. Zohar hides and protects until the construction within bears fruit, establishing a house by expressing these separated seeds. The inside of the black hole hides and protects the chamber of conception, revealed in the construction within the abyss, can't say it. The abyss. There you go. Within the abyss, Eitz Chaim, tree of life, continues to bear fruit, trying to achieve God's desire to be known and low. The confines of creation are defined by the expression of the stars tracing back to the original spark, shards from the primordial engraving into the crown of the black hole, producing seeds separated from the Eitz Chaim. The preface to the Zohar begins by describing creation as a rose amid thorns. The name Elohim is the flower to creation, dispersing seeds in the form of stars, shards from the original engraving. Compared to the flower of God depicted by the Eitz Chaim, tree of life, the stars are budding at the far side of the black hole from where the knowledge of Zohar is founded. The Talmud depicts creation as a loom threaded with light. Just as creation came from oneness, So too oneness is forever implicit within creation, a web of light pulling and pushing at astronomical levels. Our universe is God's house of light. At first, we only saw the stars. Then scientists introduced us to the galaxy. Then many galaxies until the entire expanse of the universe, though bounded by time and space, is full of the unimaginable, crushing, puny, scientific theories beneath the vast weight of implicit form. Creation is the masterpiece from Boré, massive galaxies threaded together with other massive galaxies until the universe is one, a beautiful diamond spinning within the darkness of infinity. The lo is dias volis patis pstita tishiva lo ikrea Elohim elakula baklabaratius. Until time began, no expression in return, name Elohim, not called, all included in Bereshit, beginning. Time is a function of movement shackled to a constant, the speed of light. Prior to the speed of light, creation was encumbered by confines. Everything happened instantaneously, while time was unable to catch up. Space was like a gaping, until there is return, there is no movement and no time. From the black hole until the advent of stars is considered the 2,000 years Boré played with creation before creating the 6 days of creation, 266,450,000 years later. Time could not begin until return was introduced. God said, "Go out and create," but Boré said nothing about returning or being separated. That job was left to the human being. Light, or light, like fire, is endemically high, since the nature of fire and light is to go up, constantly striving to become closer to the source of fire. But Boré wanted to be known and low. So Boré made a separation between the source of light and the little packets of light strewn throughout space. A line of light is forever connected to the source. Any interruption is like a cloud before the sun. So Boré made creation stop, causing the reverberation to slow down to the speed of light. In the Kabbalah, these 3 stages are called akudim lines, nukudim dots, and brudim separations, line dot separation. Ulabasi takem bishmo elihim efik enon toldin muhuzera dezrua be mandu zara enon asvon galifin raza deriza nafku mahi nakuda. In this place established name Elohim, going out is birthed the seed, seated within from the seed, signs of engraving hinting to truth going out from the dot. Everything in creation is an expression from Elohim, residing in the Rashis, beginning of creation from the black hole in the center of our galaxy. The name Elohim is mother to creation. From her comes all the souls. The angels and entities are more diverse than the creatures of the sea. Whatever exists traces back to the name Elohim, cloaked in nature. Yet, with each breaking, Negativity is released, creating an obstruction. Frustration on a galactic scale is manifested. Each shard is a name of Borei. As Dovid Hamelech, the king, sings, God counts by name all the stars each night. Once the name Elohim is carved into the Keter crown, upon the aperture leading to the universe, on one side, into the inner sanctum on the other side, then the separated seeds of creation expanding until commanded to stop, causing the universe to refract as if light were trying to penetrate an ocean of water. Each spark from the engraving becomes a letter until the entire story of the universe is written into a book illuminated in the heavens. Now the time has come to write the conclusion to these last 6,000 years of male dominance upon Tevel Earth, the lowest, most physical place in the creation. An attribute of Shemayim, heaven, is life exists within, but here on Tevel, life exists on the exterior of the planet. We cover death with the ground. All life seated throughout the universe and all the reverberations and declinations throughout creation are focused on Tevel, because here is where the desire of Borei can finally be fulfilled. Each spark in the universe is a letter chipped from the name of Borei. Each soul is engraved within a star. Every aspect of creation is pinned to Tevel. The seeds given off by the supernal rose, letters chipped from the name of Borei, is a hint to the Torah, which was similarly chipped from a cube of sapphire engraving the 10 Commandments. Each shard from the original engraving was a letter inscribed by the finger of God. There are 600,000 letters and spaces by which Borei and the prophet Moshe constructed the Torah, the first 5 books. The process of engraving is how the light and the knowledge is transmitted from the other side of the black hole, where God's desire to be known in low is twisted into light. Chapter 9. Shehi Nakud Zera B'Goy Hahu Hekel Raza Tlos Nakudim Kolam Shora Cherik Vitkalilo Dabida Kol Nafik Mechavora Chada Vishaita Nafik Nafeches Bazuga Bahedja the Klal Kalil Kol Azvon de Kasif Eta Shemayim Kol Ubat Zogo. He called Ihu Shemayim, Ihu Iya Batra. Zohar Klalil Kol Azvon Gavanim Kavanim Da. So, to explain. Vohoya Nukud Zera Begord Hui Kalazara the Talut Nikudim Kalam Shuruk Kiruk. Vis Klalilu Dabada, they called the Nafi Bakhavura Hada. This dot of seed within the chamber hints at 3 dots, Cherek, Shorak, Kulam, 3 vocalizations indicated by a dot above, a dot in the middle, and a dot below the letter, infused with one and the other until the voice goes out in inclusion. The individual seed while within the inner chamber is infused with 3 points in the triangulated form of the yud, of the letter yud, of the letter yud. The letter yud, no more than a dot, the smallest of the 22 Hebrew letters, is employed at the head of the engraving tool produced by God's desire. But even this sharp point is made from 3 points, as pictured in the letter Yud. The letter Yud is comprised of a tiny horn on top of the dot and a tiny little horn at the bottom of the dot, as if to say energy went in and energy went out, leaving a dot in the middle, hinting at past, present, and future. The vocalizations of the letter are part of the oral tradition, but in modern books, these points of sound are printed along with the letter, helping the reader to pronounce the word correctly. In Torah, the pronunciation is not as important as the clarity of the written word. Kolam is an O sound. Kolam. Inscribed is a dot on the top of the letter. Shoruk is an U sound. Sound is marked by a dot at the middle of a letter, and chiruk is an E sound, is the dot at the bottom of the letter. O-U-E. Each handwritten letter in the Torah begins with a dot, which is the Yud. Then, with a fine feather pen, the scribe draws each letter out from within the dot of ink. Thus, top, middle, and bottom are established along with the primordial pool of letters as conceived in the inner chamber inside the black hole. Sight and sound become one, as a voice was admitted in the form of letters emesh, establishing the 3 upper elements, Aish, fire, Aver, air, and Mayim, water. Emesh. Our constantly vibrating universe is singing to Borei. Everywhere throughout creation, the Creator is recognized, even on planet Tevel, with the exception of the human being who questions the existence of Borei. Each human being is the lowest place in creation, possessing free will to choose a path in life according to the perception of our circumstance. B'shaitet nafik. Nafeches ba zugo beheja khalil kol etvon dikativ eser chamayim kol bat zugo. Going out went out. The mate to the heavens. The going out from the resultant shards of the engraving Elohim in the outer rim of the black hole included a clear function of reception, meaning the dualistic nature of creation combined both male and female aspects of in and out. Creation in the beginning was clearly androgynous, a way of attenuating the light by chipping away at the emet, scattering shards everywhere, yet coalescing all the light into one place. The word Tevel describes the collusion of male and female, human and animal energies within one person. The word Tevel has a gematria of 432. The resonance of the global vibration at 432 hertz. The beginning of Torah starts with Borei, creating at Hashemayim, the heavens. The word Hashemayim, heaven, is a combination of Aish, fire, and Mayim, water. But the term et has no meaning whatsoever. Zohar explains in Shir Shirim, Song of Songs, how the 2 extremities of the 22 letters et, Aleph is the first letter, who is male, and Tuf, the last letter, which is female. While the other 20 letters are a combination of male and female, by putting together the Aleph and Tuf, God is able to experience male and female combined, giving birth to the heavens. Similarly, Bore created et haaretz. Bore is neither spiritual nor physical. Bore is echad, one, creator of both the physical and the spiritual. Light and sound operate on vibration, one faster, one slower, replicated in sight, which can see a long distance, and sound, which is conveyed at closer quarters. Every experience is interwoven with ambient sight and sound. There is a beautiful song vibrating throughout the universe, but those of us who inhabit the earth are deaf. There is a beautiful form to creation, but those who inhabit the earth are blind. History follows the spiral of time, constantly coming to conclusion. Illumination is coming to the world. Those awaken need to awaken others. As the brilliance of Zohar meant for our time is arousing the sleeping to blink away ignorance. Having some problems today, staying centered. He called the Ihu Shemayim, Ihu Iya Basra, Zohar Klalit calls Gavanin Da. Voice, the voice is heaven, the last iteration of the future. Zohar combines all letters and colors. So this is the last letter. The 10th and final component, comprising the Eitz Chaim, tree of life, is called Malchut, royalty. Because the king rules from decree through the spoken word of the king. The black hole is continually mouthing creation into being, murmuring in a bountiful, beautiful adulations, a song of life for all who live. Life is everywhere. Even vacuous space is alive with meaning, and because nothing escapes the watchful eye of Borei, who loves creation and wants only to be acknowledged as the provider to all, asking of the human being only to obey the 7 commandments, first of which is not to pray to the heavens, because God is everywhere. What does Borei want? God wants a relationship on low. Between the black hole and the human being is the conduit called Shemayim, transferring articulations in the same way human beings speak to a very young child. Only Borei and the human being have the capacity to articulate thoughts into words, because all of creation exists only as an intermediary. As expressed in the equation 365, 365 squared times 2,000 equaling 266,450,000, broken down into the secret timing of creation, when God 26 through the 6 days of creation prototype to the 6,000 years of male agenda connects with 45 Gematria human being. Borei is having a relationship with every human being on earth during these 6,000 years, so Borei can be known and loved. Each person on earth, for a brief span of time, has the opportunity to know Borei in whatever way deemed real and honest within the confines of the 7 commandments given to all peoples of the world. When we, the people of the world, finally open our collective eyes, we will see the beautiful paradise made by our Creator, Borei, from a pebble beneath the throne of of God. This pebble will forever give life. She is our Mother Earth, constantly percolating with life. When the false veneer and the stench of religion is wiped from the globe and the gleam of silver are no longer blinds the eye, then reality will become obvious. All right. Kind of had to struggle through that. I'm not quite sure why. Certainly couldn't have been the writing. So, let me just, the few minutes that